My girlfriend left her tablet open with a file called Master Plan Next 5 Years. I opened it. It outlined how she'd stop her contraception secretly, get pregnant on purpose, move into my condo permanently, then file for divorce after 36 months to claim spousal support. I stayed silent, just emailed it to my attorney. When she discovered her secret strategy was now documentation in a protection order, I, 33-year-old male, still can't wrap my head around this actually happening. Part of me wants to act like it was all a bad dream. But honestly, getting this out feels cathartic or something. So I worked remotely most of the time doing engineering management for a tech startup. My girlfriend, ex-girlfriend to be accurate, had been staying with me for roughly 9 months. We'd been dating close to 2 years altogether. Pretty standard relationship dynamics. She'd vent about her position at the real estate office. I'd vent about demanding executives. We'd over-order from delivery apps and watch whatever series was trending. She headed out for work one Wednesday and left her tablet sitting on the dining room counter. Screen was still active. I was making tea and noticed this file displayed on her device. Master Plan Next 5 Years, DocX, sort of romantic, right? I assumed maybe she was organizing surprise getaway ideas or engagement ring preferences or something. We discussed marriage in that casual, eventually way people do. I tapped it. What I read made my stomach drop. It wasn't some sweet future vision. It was a methodical blueprint for trapping me. Complete with bullet points and everything. She had integrated financial projections, actual spreadsheets. The strategy essentially detailed: discontinue birth control without informing me. Achieve pregnancy deliberately within 8 months. She specifically noted that I assume she's still on contraception and to perform shocked and overwhelmed when it occurs. Establish full residency in my condo and create legal occupancy status. She'd already completed this section and marked it with a confirmation check. Leverage the pregnancy to reduce work hours or stop employment. He'll manage all expenses because he's dependable that way. Her exact phrasing: have the child, take maximum maternity leave, possibly resign permanently. He earns $155,000, he can absorb it. Initiate divorce proceedings around the 3-year mark. Cite him being career-obsessed or fundamental incompatibilities. She documented that family law systems favor mothers, so custody would be straightforward. The ultimate objective: child support approximately $2,200 monthly based on my compensation. Spousal support for several years because she abandoned her professional path. Force a property sale or equity buyout because she'd be entitled to half the appreciation if we were married when she filed, despite me purchasing the place 4 years before I ever encountered her. Her literal words at the conclusion: financial independence for myself and child, ultimate freedom to pursue my authentic life. He's secure and predictable, but that's what makes this viable. There was additional content too. Annotations about which acquaintances would corroborate her narrative about me being emotionally unavailable or unsupportive. Reminders to chronicle every disagreement we experienced. She'd captured screenshots of my investment app when I'd left my device accessible once. My liquid assets, my pension accounts, everything. This wasn't some passing consideration. She'd been orchestrating this for months. I sat there staring at the display. My hands were trembling, but my mind entered this strange focused state, like emergency mode. I forwarded the entire file to my personal account. Then I transmitted it to my attorney, same person who managed my property transaction. Messaged him, need to discuss immediately, urgent situation. Then I captured photographs, the file displayed on her screen. The metadata showing it was last edited 6 days prior. Her authenticated user profile visible, just addressed every angle I could conceive. Closed the tablet, positioned it precisely where she'd abandoned it. Returned to my workspace and worked as though it was an ordinary day. She returned that evening all cheerful and talkative, mentioned some challenging client, asked what I preferred for dinner. I suggested Thai food was acceptable. We ordered Thai, we ate, we streamed something. I didn't mention a single word about what I'd discovered. My attorney contacted me the following morning while she was at the office. This is substantially incriminating documentation if she ever attempts anything legal, he stated. Have you addressed this with her yet? Negative. Excellent. Don't. Not immediately. Let me strategize how to manage this optimally. Primary question: are you legally married? No, she resides here, but it's my property. I purchased it 4 years before we met. Perfect. Is her name attached to any accounts or holdings? No, everything's compartmentalized. She transfers me approximately $450 monthly for her portion of utilities and groceries. Even better, here's our approach. Update 1. The attorney outlined our strategy. The objective wasn't retaliation or anything theatrical. Just safeguard myself legally and ensure her little operation never had any possibility of succeeding. Initial step, document everything moving forward. I began maintaining records. When she arrived home, conversations we conducted, anything unusual, preserved every digital payment she submitted, even photographed her contraceptive pills in the bathroom cabinet, still full, apparently still taking them. Guess she hadn't initiated phase 1 yet. Second, secured my holdings before she could assert anything. My attorney composed this domestic partnership agreement, basically clarified that we were romantically involved in cohabitating but not married, not common law, nothing. My condo was mine. My finances were mine. She possessed no legal entitlement to anything except her personal belongings. I printed it and positioned it on the counter one morning with a note attached. Hey sweetie, my wealth manager recommended we both execute this for legal clarity since you're residing here. Typical documentation for couples who share a residence. Nothing major but protects us both if circumstances change. Love you. She executed it that identical day. Didn't even review it thoroughly. Just sent me a photo of her signature with multiple heart emojis. Third component of the strategy was more delicate. I needed to eliminate her operation without exposing I knew about it. Waited until the weekend. She was in excellent spirits. We were just relaxing on the sectional. She was browsing social media. I was pretending to focus on whatever was playing. Random thought, I said. Do you envision us getting married eventually? She glanced up and beamed. Absolutely, when the timing's appropriate. Why? You contemplating it? Yeah, I've been considering the future extensively lately. Our future, children, timeline, all that content. Her expression literally brightened. She probably assumed her plan was progressing flawlessly. I actually need to be transparent with you about something, I said. I don't believe I want children, like permanently. I've been considering getting a vasectomy. The smile locked on her face. What? I recognize we haven't really addressed it seriously. But the more I evaluate my life, the more I understand I'm content with circumstances as they exist. My profession, my autonomy, just you and me. A child would transform everything, and I don't desire that transformation. I'm researching scheduling a procedure. She just stared at me. I could literally observe her brain recalculating. Her entire scheme required a baby. No baby meant no child support, no custody advantage. No, I sacrificed my career for our family narrative. You can't be serious right now. I am serious. Is that a fundamental incompatibility for you? Because I'd comprehend if it is. I need to process this, she said quietly. Certainly, take whatever duration you need. Just wanted to be forthright about it. She barely communicated with me the remainder of the weekend. Retired early. Spent considerable time on her device in the other room. That Monday, she messaged me from the office. I think we need to discuss where this relationship is heading. Maybe I should relocate back to my apartment temporarily. Situation is, her lease had terminated months earlier. She'd subleased her old unit to another tenant. She had nowhere to go except her parents' residence 4 hours away or staying with acquaintances. I messaged back, if that's what you require, I comprehend. Take whatever time you need to determine things. Update 2. She didn't relocate. Instead, she attempted to alter my perspective. First came the waterworks, extensive crying about how she'd perpetually envisioned being a mother, how she believed we were constructing a future together, how devastated she was that I'd make such a significant determination without considering her emotions. I remained composed every instance. I comprehend you're disappointed. That's precisely why I wanted to inform you now. Instead of consuming more of your time if children are a fundamental incompatibility for you. Then she became hostile, began accusing me of deceiving her and squandering 2 years of her existence, called me egotistical and immature for not wanting to mature and become a legitimate man. I just allowed her to express herself. Didn't counter, just kept stating I'm sorry you feel that way repeatedly. Then she transitioned to negotiating. What if we just had just one child? I'd manage all the responsibilities. You'd minimally have to contribute. Enormous warning sign, but I just shook my head. I've made my determination. If that doesn't correspond with what you desire from existence, I totally comprehend. Maybe we should terminate things so you can locate someone who desires the identical future. That's when circumstances became hostile. She ceased paying her portion of expenses. When I inquired about it, she stated you earn substantially more than me anyway. You can accommodate it. Besides, I'm accumulating funds to relocate since you're essentially evicting me. I never requested her to depart, never stated she had to go. But Shore positioned me as the antagonist, discovered her examining my document cabinet one evening. When I asked what she was doing, she claimed she was searching for a device charger in a secured filing cabinet. Right. She began treating my condo like temporary lodging. Dishes accumulated everywhere, clothing scattered throughout, disorder in every space. When I asked her to maintain cleanliness, she'd respond, "Well, you're the one who desires me gone anyway, so what's your concern?" I captured photos of everything, documented dates and times. Then her mother contacted me unexpectedly. "What is transpiring with you two? My daughter is absolutely devastated. She believed you were going to propose and now you're evicting her." "Ma'am, I'm not evicting anyone." I was honest about not wanting children, and she's processing that information. She's welcome to remain as long as necessary while she determines her next steps. You misled her. She abandoned her apartment to move in with you. She elected to terminate her lease. I never requested her to do that. You are a cold, heartless individual. My daughter deserves substantially better than you. She probably does deserve better, which is why I believe it's optimal if we proceed separately. Her mother sputtered something and disconnected from me. Several days later, her closest friend appeared at my residence. Just knocked on the entrance, and when I responded, she pushed directly past me inside. "We need to discuss what you're doing to her." "Pardon me? She is miserable, crying daily. You inform her you love her. You relocate her into your residence, and then you just randomly determine you don't desire the identical things anymore. That's manipulative as hell. I was honest about where I stand on having children. She's free to make her own choices based on that information. You're manipulating her. You understand she has nowhere else to go. You're making her feel trapped. She's a grown woman with full-time employment and her own income. She's choosing to remain here. I'm not forcing anything. The friend got directly in my face. You're going to regret this. She could take you for everything you possess. You understand that, right? And there it was, the genuine reason for the friendly visit, testing me to determine if I knew about her entitlements. I smiled. "We have an executed cohabitation agreement clearly stating she has no claim to my property or holdings, and we're not married, so there's no spousal support situation. But I appreciate your concern." Her face went completely pale. You made her execute something?" I asked her to execute a standard legal document that accurately represents our relationship status. She executed it willingly without any pressure. She departed without stating another word. That identical evening, my girlfriend confronted me. "Did you deceive me into executing away my rights? You executed a document that accurately describes our circumstances. You're not my wife. This isn't your residence. You possess no legal claim to my property or income. That's just reality. I could still pursue legal action against you. For what precisely?" She didn't have a response for that. "I believe it's time for you to relocate," I stated. "You have 30 days, that's more than reasonable." She absolutely lost control, screaming about how I'd exploited her, how I was heartless, how she'd given me the optimal years of her existence, and I was discarding her like refuse. I didn't engage, just walked to my workspace and secured the door. The following morning, the tablet was absent from the counter. Final update. The last several weeks were absolutely chaotic, but it's finally concluded. After I informed her she needed to relocate, she went totally destructive on me. Began informing everyone who would listen that I'd been financially exploiting her, that I was forcing her to pay rent to reside in our residence while controlling all her finances. Everything. Some mutual acquaintances reached out asking what was occurring. I kept it straightforward. We're separating because we desire different things from existence. I've asked her to relocate with adequate notice. That's all I'm comfortable discussing. Most people comprehended and remained neutral. A few supported her. Whatever. She attempted claiming tenant protections. Had some paralegal acquaintances transmit me this letter stating I couldn't just evict her and she was entitled to at minimum 60 days notice. My attorney transmitted back a response with the cohabitation agreement she'd executed, which clearly stated she was a month-to-month occupant and could be asked to depart with 30 days notice. Also indicated I hadn't even filed formal eviction documentation. Just asked her to depart voluntarily. The paralegal never responded after that. Then she completely switched tactics. Began being extremely affectionate again, apologizing for overreacting about the entire children situation. Said she'd been contemplating and maybe she didn't actually need to be a mother. Maybe we could just acquire a pet instead. I wasn't accepting it for a second. Informed her nothing had changed and she still needed to be gone by the deadline. That's when I received a contact from law enforcement. Apparently she'd filed a report claiming I'd stolen her tablet and she wanted it returned. The officer who contacted sounded completely uninterested with the entire situation. "Sir, your girlfriend is stating you took her device. Is that accurate?" "Negative, officer. She took it herself previously. It was in the kitchen and then it wasn't. I assumed she'd relocated it to her room or taken it to the office. She's claiming you admitted to accessing it and reading her private files without authorization." My pulse elevated, but I kept my voice steady. I observed a document that was already displayed on the screen when she left it on our dining counter. I didn't go searching through her files or access anything that wasn't already visible. "All right, well, it's a civil matter anyway. She'd need to take you to court if she believes you did something wrong." "Have a good one, that was close." She was investigating to determine if I'd admit to observing her plan. Several days later, she appeared with her father and brother. They had a moving truck. Her father was fairly civil about it. "We're just here to collect her belongings." "No problem. Inform me if you need assistance with anything." They loaded all her furniture, clothing, everything. She didn't state a single word to me the entire duration. Just directed me hostile glares while her father and brother did all the heavy work. As they were concluding, her brother pulled me aside. "Hey man, I don't know what occurred with you two, but she's been behaving really strangely. Just watch your back, all right? I appreciate the notification. She keeps discussing pursuing legal action against you or getting attorneys involved. Says you owe her money for the time she resided here." I tried informing her that's not how separations work, but she's not listening to anyone currently. "I've got an attorney managing things if she attempts anything, but thanks for the warning." He nodded and they departed. She returned several days after that. I was actually absent but observed her on my doorbell camera. She was attempting to use her old key in the lock. Obviously didn't work since I'd changed the locks immediately after she relocated. She pounded on the entrance for a while, began yelling about me being a coward and a deceiver. Then she departed. I transmitted the footage to my attorney with a note just documenting in case we need it. About a week later, she actually appeared at my workplace. I work remotely mostly but attend for meetings occasionally. She must have been monitoring my location somehow. Probably through the location sharing feature we'd established previously that I forgot to disable. She cornered me in the parking area as I was departing. "We need to discuss right now." "No, we really don't. Please leave me alone. You ruined my existence. I abandoned everything for you. You didn't abandon anything. You terminated a lease which was your own decision. Now please depart before I contact security. You're going to regret this. I have evidence you emotionally exploited me. I have messages. I have witnesses. I'm going to destroy your reputation." That was it. I retrieved my device and contacted my attorney right there in front of her. "She's here at my workplace threatening me," I stated calmly. "Harassment and defamation threats." She attempted to grab my device from my hand. I stepped back. "Are you recording me?" "No, I'm on the phone with my attorney." She literally ran to her vehicle and departed rapidly from the parking area. My attorney filed for a temporary protection order that afternoon. We had the doorbell footage of her attempting to enter the residence. We had the parking area incident. We had screenshots of threatening messages her friend had transmitted about taking me for everything. The hearing was fairly quick. She appeared with her mother and that paralegal friend. The judge reviewed all the documentation. The threats, appearing at my workplace, attempting to enter my residence after relocating. "Ma'am, did you go to his workplace? I just wanted to communicate with him. He won't respond to any of my contacts or messages. Did you attempt to enter his residence after you'd already relocated? I left some of my belongings there. I was just checking on them, with a key that no longer functioned, suggesting you were aware you were no longer welcome at the property." She didn't have a response to that. Judge granted the protection order. 500 feet from me, my residence, and my workplace for 1 year. Her mother began crying in the courtroom. Informed the judge I was ruining her daughter's existence over just a separation. The judge was not accepting it. Ma'am, your daughter engaged in harassment and made explicit threats. This isn't about a separation. This order is for the petitioner's protection and safety. As we were departing the courthouse, the paralegal friend approached me in the corridor. You know she's going to fight this, right? She's already consulted with some attorneys about spousal support. Good luck with that. We dated less than 2 years, never got married. She executed a cohabitation agreement and she has her own employment and income. There's no case there. She's going to make your existence a living hell. She's legally required to remain 500 feet away from me. So actually, no, she's really not. That was about a week ago. Haven't heard from her since. Changed my phone number. Blocked her on every platform I could identify. Disabled all location sharing. My residence feels peaceful again. I'm sleeping better. Work is back to normal productivity. Did I feel guilty? Yeah, somewhat initially. 2 years is 2 years. We had some genuinely positive experiences together. But then I think about that document, the spreadsheets, the cold, calculated plan to trap me with a pregnancy and drain me financially for years. She never loved me. She loved what I could provide. The stability. The $155,000 salary, the condo, the comfortable lifestyle. I was never a person to her, just a resource to be exploited. My attorney kept copies of that document as evidence in case she ever attempts to file anything. It's all certified and dated. If she pursues spousal support or makes any legal claims, he'll submit it to demonstrate premeditation and bad faith. That vasectomy I mentioned. That was originally just a test to observe her reaction. But honestly, I actually proceeded with it last week. Figured it's good insurance at this point. My brother asked me if I felt like I dodged a bullet. More like I dodged a tactical missile. To anyone reading this, trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. And protect yourself legally before things deteriorate. I'm doing acceptable now. Started seeing a therapist to process the entire betrayal situation, which has actually helped substantially. Got back into some interests I dropped while we were together. Even had coffee with someone from a friend's gathering last weekend. Nothing serious. Just nice to feel normal again. Life continues. And it continues significantly better without someone actively plotting to exploit you. I know some people might think I was excessively cold or severe about how I managed everything. But she literally documented a detailed plan to baby trap me, fabricate marital problems, take half my condo and extract thousands monthly from me for years while living her free existence. I responded by being honest about my boundaries, protecting my holdings, and obtaining legal protection when she began harassing me. I'll sleep just fine with that. Stay safe out there, and maybe don't leave your malicious plans displayed on your tablet.